This question is from Karen. I'm looking for some feedback on working with couples where an attachment injury, an affair, is revealed many years after the fact. It is challenging to develop a shared narrative around what happened. Understanding how and why it happened can be challenging when we're going back over 30 years, for example. Another challenge is not being able to remember the facts and circumstances, which can then feed the distrust of the partner. Can you help me get grounded with these kinds of cases, staying very much in the present process, but the past keeps calling?
Yeah, well, I love, Karen, that you already know to stay grounded or to do all we can to stay grounded in the present process, the present moment, which will be hard the more the past keeps calling. So I think I would do my best. I would ask myself and I would encourage them not to try to create a shared narrative yet. It feels too soon, even though when you said over 30 years, but it's too soon in terms of the recovery because the present moment has got to be about emotion. The attachment, fears, longings, needs that linger for each of them as a result of this history that they've endured together. What pain persists? That would be my question. I wouldn't actually encourage the conversation about how and why the original infidelity happened. I wouldn't worry about the cycle back then. I would work in the present moment in terms of old pain, persistent pain and fear that blocks them from being there for each other now, because that's what's going to block the repair, is what blocks us from being able to empathize and take in. In one hand, I hold some of my own pain and fear. In the other hand, I hold my partner's pain and fear. Little bit by little bit, we share it back and forth. And then we work on, can you take in your partner's pain? Can you run it through your nervous system? Can you swallow it? Can you let it wash over you? Can you let it evoke your own emotion? And so that's how we feel felt by the other. These two need to feel felt by the other, and the narrative will emerge from feeling felt by the other. I would resist the gravity of the past and where we remember and where we don't, and where we have the same story and where we don't, and creating a shared narrative. I would resist that gravity, although it's tempting. And I would just say, for the time being, guys, I've got to find out where your pain is inside each of your bodies, what you do with it in current moments where you need each other, but you're not connecting.
It's interesting. Okay, so I guess part of what I'm hearing is that a shared narrative is something that emerges. It's not something that you can go after.
Yeah, and that's great, Jen. And that's a subtle but potent distinction. A shared narrative emerges from repair and recovery, and it emerges as a result of processing pain and fear and holding each other's pain and fear rather than a top-down, how did we get here?
So you help each person find the pain that lingers and help the other person hold that pain with them.
Yes. And if they can, if the listening partner can't hold the pain, what's blocking it? Probably their pain, probably their fear. And that's where it's a little bit, because 30 years is a long time. There's been a lot of life, and there's been a lot of probably hurting each other in different small ways and large ways.
Yeah. And I think just to validate that it's tricky.
Oh,
It's
totally.
tricky.
We should lead with that.
Yeah. When the injury occurred over 30 years ago, it's very tricky.
The thing that works for us in these moments, tricky moments for certain, is that emotion knows no chronology. And that's why I trust emotion so thoroughly, because emotion doesn't care if it was 30 years ago or 30 minutes ago. Help me know on the inside of you, where's the pain? Where does it live inside of you? What's a good image for it? And can you share it with the other? Can you share it with the other in a soft, gentle, vulnerable way? And if not, what blocks you?
I love that nugget. Emotion knows no chronology.
We think it should, and because the other parts of our brain track chronology, we think they're connected. And when emotion's been processed and integrated, then the chronology clicks in with the emotion, and they're integrated and they're together. In the phenomenon, both elements are there. But unprocessed emotion, maybe I should add that fragment, that phrase, unprocessed emotion knows no chronology because it's not yet integrated. So chronology comes from other parts of the brain. Unprocessed pain and fear, again, 30 years ago, 30 days ago, 30 minutes ago.
Time does not heal all wounds.
Yeah, I need to befriend a country singer who can write a song about that, because so many of them write songs about just give it time, your heart will heal. Well, your heart will heal a little bit, but it won't actually heal. Time doesn't heal.
It's just still waiting there somewhere.
Still waiting there. Maybe it gets pushed back. Maybe it's further away. Maybe it shrinks a bit. Maybe it's layered with other experiences. And so it's contained and it feels like it's smaller. But with safety and with the invitation to process old pain, which we all need, this is what Karen's clients need. What Karen's offering them is an invitation to process old pain, which only feels old from a calendar perspective.
For more hot tips on emotionally focused therapy, go to theeftcafe.com and sign up for our newsletter where you will receive short little clips like the one you just watched.